3, 2, 1. Things are going well for Dropbox. The Hustle, Tuesday, January 31st, 2017. Brought to you by Toptal. Houston, we have liftoff. Yesterday, Dropbox CEO Drew Houston claimed that the cloud storage platform was cash flow positive and that they were on track to hit $1 billion in revenue in 2017. What does this all mean? First, cash flow-wise, it means that they're bringing in more money than they are spending, but to be clear, that doesn't necessarily mean they're profitable. An example would be a company liquidating factory equipment for lower than what they paid, resulting in short-term positive cash flow despite negative profitability. Second, if Houston's revenue projections are correct, it could mean that their push to gain paid enterprise clients with Dropbox Business is finally taking off. And the numbers look promising. Since its $10 billion valuation following its last round of funding in 2014, the pressure has been on Dropbox to shift from a free consumer platform to a SaaS model, particularly as Google's cloud apps like Drive and Microsoft 360 continue to gain traction. But today Dropbox says that over 200,000 businesses are currently paying $150 per seat annually for their services, up from 50,000 in 2014, including large clients like News Corp and Expedia paying for over 10,000 seats each. They also report an increasing number of users upgrading to their $100 a year Pro version, which could bode well for their rumored IPO. Word on the street is Dropbox plans to go public towards the end of the year, and to that end, doing $1 billion in revenue is nothing to scoff at. However, it still means that investors would have to value the company at 10 times its current sales to live up to its aggressive valuation. For reference, the average cloud software company typically trades at around 4.7 times revenue. Social media, basic multiplication, folks. No boring things, just boring people. Remember that line your parents would drop on you when you complained during long car trips? Well, 2 recent studies confirmed that allowing ourselves to be bored may lead us to states of deeper thoughtfulness and creativity. Scientists bored people into their minds. In both studies, participants subjected to boring tasks like copying numbers out of a phone book or watching a dull screensaver came up with more creative solutions and more word associations than their entertained counterparts. Turns out we have a natural need to fill our empty brain space, and without things like Farmville or compulsively checking the views on our Snap stories, we're forced to fill it with actual thoughts. Texas A&M University psychologist Heather Lynch calls this entering the daydreaming state. Seriously, think about it. When was the last time you found yourself daydreaming? For a lot of us, not since we were stuck in class before the age of cell phones. Lynch and other scientists compared distracting ourselves with technology to eating junk food. Remember those kids who didn't have cable growing up? They were way more likely to invent weird games with cardboard boxes and pillow forts, while the rest of us were glued to our Game Boys teaching our Pidgeotos gust. So how can we harness the power of boredom? Jerry Seinfeld, for one, forces himself to write by locking himself in his office every morning with nothing more than a blue Bic pen and a legal pad. Other people prefer long baths, showers, or tech-free commutes. So here's a crazy idea. Maybe don't buy the in-flight Wi-Fi next time you're in the air. Never know what you might come up with. Social media. A way to sleep in the upright position? Speaking of boring, it looks like Elon Musk was serious about digging tunnels and starting the Boring Company. Get it? Because boring is like digging holes. Are holes boring? Ugh, forget it. The past weekend, workers began excavating a 30-foot by 50-foot test trench on the grounds of SpaceX's LA headquarters. For Musk, the goal is to eventually build a full-on tunnel system to combat traffic. But for now, it's just stage 1 of a grand experiment. We're just going to figure out what it takes to improve tunneling speed by, I think, somewhere between 500 and 1,000%, the serial entrepreneur said. We have no idea what we're doing. I want to be clear about that. They also have no permission to dig anywhere outside of the company's property, but nothing a little bit of paperwork and a VR preview of non-congested freeways in LA can't solve, right? The guy makes rocket ships. He can handle a city council meeting. Whether or not this pans out, it's more difficult than we might realize. As Wired explains, digging under cities is ridiculously hard. For one, the earth is full of random stuff, and there's no way to prepare for it until you're right on top of whatever's in your way. That takes time. And money, too. Second, you have to relocate underground electricity, power, gas, and telecommunication lines. That takes money and time, too. And third, as Manhattan recently learned with the Second Avenue subway project, costs for huge underground projects can easily balloon. Social media. Elon the Mole Man. Here comes Walmart. Remember when Walmart bought Jet.com for $3.3 billion to compete with Amazon online? Well, today that acquisition starts taking shape. The Arkansas-based retail giant has officially launched free 2-day shipping, no membership required. The hope is that, while Jeff Bezos is busy giggling at the Golden Globes, Walmart can start creeping back into the e-commerce conversation, and maybe even pop into your noggin the next time you need something cheap and pronto. Details, please. This offer will be available for over 2 million items, ranging from toys and electronics to baby products and non-refrigerated grocery items. They'll be flagged as available for 2-day shipping on Walmart's website. There will also be a minimum purchase requirement of $35. Sorry guys, looks like you'll have to order your single box of wheat thins elsewhere, but no membership fee. Pretty standard stuff, nothing too crazy or exciting. Oh yeah, Walmart's also killing its Amazon Prime competitor. In June, the company rolled out Shipping Pass, a low-cost alternative to Amazon Prime, $49 per year versus $99 per year. As of 8 a.m. Eastern Time this morning, that service is dead, and according to the company, all Shipping Pass customers will immediately receive a refund on their membership. What happened? Was it a bust? No, not at all. As one spokesperson puts it, it was just more of a stepping stone and a test run of both Walmart and Jet.com's back-end infrastructure than a key part of the business. As their spokesperson said, Shipping Pass validated that they're in the right locations to be able to cater to customers in their geographies and be able to deliver within that 2-day or less time period. Social media, let the games begin. A few good reads. Section, a few good reads. Why Hollywood as we know it is already over. Vanity Fair. The same kind of disruption that hit music and publishing is already reshaping the entertainment business, and according to some, Hollywood is dying. Or already dead. Inside Instagram's reinvention, recode. We talk about Facebook all the time, but Instagram, arguably the best acquisition Zuckerberg's ever made, is doing pretty darn well itself. But, as CEO Kevin Systrom explains, it took an internal change in philosophy to get here. Escape artist Harry Houdini was an ingenious inventor. He just didn't want anybody to know. Smithsonian. We all know Harry Houdini, the magician, but did you know he was also an actor, aviator, amateur historian, and businessman? Dude was a legend. Inside the world of Australian opal miners who live underground. The Washington Post. The photographs in this story alone make it worth a click. Navigating mid-success. Y Combinator blog. Sam Altman with an awesome short post on the realities of starting a company. When you start a startup, you get pushed off the side of a cliff with a bag of aerospace parts. You hope they are the parts for a spaceship, and they look like they might be, but it's impossible to tell when they're all in a bag. This edition of The Hustle was brought to you by Toptal. You spent your family vacation doing a puzzle. Dogs Galore 1,000-piece puzzle, to be more specific. It was a doozy, especially when all the Labradoodles' noses started to look the same. Yet, you persevered like the champion puzzler you are. Then, on the last day of vacay, you got to the last piece, and it was nowhere to be found. Where is it? Where's the friggin' Pomeranian paw? Toptal helps you find the missing piece. Because it's super frustrating to come up short on a project you've spent so much time on. Need an elite developer in a pinch? A world-class designer like yesterday? A last-minute finance expert? Toptal has you covered. Plus, Toptal's network is so expansive, they help you find all the pieces, not just the one you're missing. That means you can build out a whole team to facilitate whatever project you need and make that project a success. Build your own puzzle from scratch. Try out their service with a free trial exclusive to Hustle readers and start saving time on great hires today. Editor's note. Correction in regards to yesterday's airport strike story. Uber turned off surge pricing after the protest had ended to help protesters get home safely and will donate $3 million to a defense fund to help with legal, immigration, and translation costs for drivers affected by Trump's immigration and travel ban. Our earlier version of this article misstated that Uber had turned off surge pricing during the protest and that the $3 million would be donated directly to the ACLU. The Hustle. Subscribe, jobs, advertise, ambassadors, events. Kendall, Big Puzzle Guy, Baker. Writer. Lindsay Quinn, a great movie recommendation. John Havel, backseat editor. Howard E. Oysters, seafood provisioner. You opted in by signing up, entering a giveaway, or through divine intervention. 1381 9th Avenue, San Francisco, California, 94122 in the United States. 415-506-7210. Never want to hear from us again? Break our hearts and unsubscribe?